program. Now, the government is in talks with employers to develop measures aimed at mitigating the effects of COVID-19 on jobs. And as Faisal Ahmed reports, under a memorandum of understanding signed between the Labour Ministry, the Federation of Kenyan Employers and KOTU, employers will retain workers as the government formulates measures to cushion employers against the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought to its knees several firms globally. In Kenya, over 200,000 formal jobs have been lost so far, and more are on the line.
Because up to this minute, the number of requests or notices that I've received are now hitting 250,000. And most of these fellows are from the hotel industry.
To plug the bleeding, the Labour Ministry has struck a deal with the Central Organization of Trade Unions, KOTU, and the Federation of Kenya Employers that will see firms and companies retain employees during this trying period.
Our persuasion was, out of the profit these workers generated before, out of the successes that they met before, we can invest in them during our downtime when we're in a challenging moment, when we're in a crisis like this. And I am happy to report that FKE and KOTU were able to move from their positions to a position of accommodation, a position of care and responsibility. We therefore signed this document, and after 45 days, we are asking employers to see whether they can put these employees on half pay, meaning they are still not working, they have exhausted their leave, but at least put them on half pay, because we are not sure when this pandemic will be finally overcome.
The Labour Ministry is also working with the National Treasury to provide funds to the companies for bailout post-COVID-19. The 10 billion shilling fund, Chelugui says, will be available for micro, small and medium enterprises, as well as backing corporates seeking support from commercial lenders.
In some of the sectors that will require immediate support are sectors like hotel, tourism and aviation, because that will enable movement of people and services and goods and will support a chain of sectors and industries along back and forth.
The government is planning to put in 80% of the seed money, with banks putting in 20%. Chelugui says interest charged on the relief fund will be significantly lower than the market rate. Some of the terms in the MOU signed include government intervention, which entails financial and economic support for firms, safety and health at workplaces, which requires employers to provide adequate protective gear for workers, social dialogue, which means employers and employees may agree on terms and conditions on working from home agreements where possible. With the reality of the effects of COVID-19 to the economy hitting home, the government is doing all it can to plug the bleeding. Faisal Ahmed, Citizen TV, Nairobi.